Ever wonder why Netflix seems to know exactly what you want to watch at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday? The answer involves billions of data points, thousands of micro genres, and some surprisingly sophisticated psychology.
That's fascinating, and maybe a little unsettling when you think about how much they must know about our viewing habits.
Well, it goes way deeper than most people realize. Netflix isn't just tracking what we watch. They're analyzing hundreds of tiny details about how we watch, when we watch, and even our emotional responses.
Hmm, what kind of details are we talking about exactly?
So get this, they track everything from whether you binge watch a show, to if you pause at certain moments, to whether you rewatch specific scenes. They even have people called taggers who watch Netflix content all day long, breaking down every show into incredibly specific attributes.
That must be how they come up with those oddly specific category descriptions I sometimes see.
Exactly. Instead of just comedy or drama, they have these micro genres like quirky romance with strong female leads and ambiguous endings, or gritty crime dramas with complex anti heroes set in small towns.
You know what really blows my mind? Your Netflix homepage looks completely different from mine. Even the artwork for the same shows might be different.
Oh my gosh, yes! They actually have multiple thumbnail images for each show, and they'll show you different ones based on your viewing history. Like, if you watch a lot of romantic comedies, you might see a tender moment as the thumbnail. But if you're into action, you'll see an intense scene from the exact same show.
That's some seriously sophisticated personalization. They must be running thousands of tests constantly.
And here's what's really fascinating. The system understands that we're not just one type of viewer. It knows that I might want light comedies on Sunday mornings, but intense dramas on weekday nights.
So, they're basically building multiple personality profiles for each user.
Exactly. And it all started with this incredible story from 2006 when Netflix offered $1 million prize to anyone who could improve their recommendation system by just 10%. The competition completely transformed how recommendation systems work across the entire tech industry.
Well, that explains why their recommendations are so much better than they used to be. What did they learn from that competition?
The big breakthrough was realizing that combining multiple different approaches worked better than trying to find one perfect algorithm. Some were great at understanding user similarity, others at content patterns, others at how tastes change over time, like having a panel of experts instead of just one.
That's fascinating. Though I have to wonder, is it good that algorithms are deciding what we watch?
That's such an important question because these recommendations aren't just suggesting content anymore. They're actually influencing what gets made. Netflix uses all this viewing data to decide which shows to produce. Remember House of Cards? That whole project was driven by data, showing they had millions of viewers who loved political dramas and were fans of Kevin Spacey.
So, the creative process is being shaped by algorithms? That seems concerning.
Well, here's what's interesting. Netflix actually builds in what they call exploration versus exploitation. They deliberately show us things outside our usual tastes sometimes to help us discover new interests and prevent us from getting stuck in content bubbles.
That must be why I occasionally get those seemingly random recommendations that end up becoming favorites.
And the technology keeps evolving in fascinating ways. They're now working on understanding deeper patterns in storytelling itself, analyzing narrative structure, emotional arcs, even the pacing of different scenes.
Where do you think this is all heading? What's the future of streaming going to look like?
Well, some experts predict we might eventually see personalized versions of the same show for different viewers, like the same basic story but told in different ways, depending on your preferences. Though that raises huge questions about shared cultural experiences and the role of art versus algorithms.
That's mind bending to think about. We're really just at the beginning of this technology, aren't we?
Absolutely right. And it's not just Netflix. These same principles are shaping how we consume content across all platforms, from YouTube to TikTok to Spotify. The real challenge will be maintaining that human element while leveraging these powerful tools.
So, what's the takeaway for viewers? How should we interact with these recommendation systems?
I think the key is being conscious consumers. Use the recommendations as a tool, but don't let them completely drive your choices. Make a point of occasionally choosing something completely different from what's suggested. Sometimes the best discoveries happen when we step outside our algorithmic comfort zones.
That's such good advice. Being aware of how these systems work gives us more power to make conscious choices about our viewing habits.
And remember, while Netflix might know our viewing patterns, it can't predict everything. There's still plenty of room for surprise, discovery, and those magical moments when we stumble upon something unexpected that becomes our new favorite show.